Hello to everyone out there in the Matrix today. I hope everyone is surviving in this sheer insanity of this world today. I gotta tell you, this title to this is what I see happening. You go to the supermarket, 90% of the people are wearing masks. They don't have regular surgical gloves, so they're wearing the rubber dishwashing gloves. It's sheer insanity. It's mad. I came across a video a while ago, and for anyone out there that cannot see where this is heading, you might take a look at this short video. It's a little over 2 minutes long. And the credit would go to David Icke, and I will leave the link in the description box below, which very likely would get my channel pulled, but who cares? You know, I'm at the point of thinking human beings, the human spirit, is free. We don't need anyone, any group of people telling us what our freedoms are. And once we start giving up our freedoms, do you think for 1 second that they are going to stop there? And as far as the surveillance apparatus that everyone is talking about, y'all, this ain't nothing new. I remember as a kid, the neighbors, you'd hear the grown ups talking in the neighborhood, talking about they received a letter through the mail that had been opened. Back in those days when we had landlines, you could tell when another party had come onto your line because there would be like this void sound. And I'm not talking about party lines. Those party lines back in those days, for you, those of you that would be old enough to remember this, was very distinct. And not everyone had party lines, but you could tell when a neighbor picked up the phone, and when they would hear a neighbor talking, you could hear them hang up. However, this other surveillance that I'm talking about, you would often hear a clicking sound, and it would be a void, so you would know that someone else, they were listening to your conversation. And I'm not talking about a party line on from your neighbors. And this used to be the way some of it was set up. So this whole surveillance thing is not new. It's gotten more sophisticated, but we as human beings, most likely thought of as peasants and useless eaters, especially if you are lucky enough to become old or you become disabled, you're kind of a useless eater. So I would say most of the world falls into that category. Let me rephrase that. You you have a large elderly population and you have a lot of disabled population, but you still have peasants that are in the workforce. I may have botched the way I've said that, but maybe you get my point. Surveillance is not new, it's gotten more sophisticated. And for the life of me, if people cannot see the direction that this world is headed currently, I don't know what else to say, which is rare for me. But I will say something. I did a lot of research into World War II and the Nazis and the way they implemented certain prohibitions, edicts against certain groups of individuals under their sphere of influence. And when you research the way that they implemented those edicts, they were not all at the same time. They were done in stages of taking certain groups of people's rights away. It was not done all at the same time. And there has been a saying for many years that history repeats itself. And considering the outcome and how that unfolded with the way they rolled these edicts out against certain groups across Europe, it worked. It was effective. And they are doing that now. They have to do it in slow steps. Otherwise, it wouldn't fly. But all you have to do is look into how they passed certain laws in Nazi Germany and other countries in Europe that would happen to be under the influence, occupied by the Nazis. Look into how they unfolded these edicts that they put on a population. They were never done all at once. They were in stages. This is what is happening now. And it gets very disturbing to me because I can already see, frankly, just based on, I made a video yesterday, and based on what I observe when I go into a supermarket, at least 90% of the people, they'd be in a doggone body bag walking around the supermarket. So there are going to be a majority of the population that are going to follow this diabolical plan, and a small percentage of the population that will not. Make no mistake about it, I can understand people fearing something that may kill you. It's understandable. But this vaccine that now has been put under the full control of the military, What would kill you first if, in fact, it can kill you, this COVID 19? What would kill you first, that or the vaccine? And if it wasn't immediately down the road, it's a good question. And I would say that it is not in the majority's uh, best interests. And I'm sure there are a lot of people, because of fear and worrying about catching COVID 19 and dying or something. I get it. I do, I get it. But if you believe you're going to get something, you will get it. And I'll just throw this out there and plug Dr. Bruce Lipton. If you're not familiar with his book, The Biology of Belief, it's a good place to start. If you believe you're going to get something, you're probably going to get it. Personally, I said from the beginning, I'm never going to get that CV, and I haven't. I'm not saying that someone that has a compromised immunity system wouldn't, but, you know, or you're elderly and or both. But according to stats that come out, it's less than 1% fatality rate. Some of you that know me and know my channel before it kind of switched gears when I was doing readings, you'll kind of know where I'm coming from with this. I do not get a good feeling about this, and I can see where this is headed. And we are, not myself, but the majority of people, based on some type of fear, are going to fall in line and do exactly what they're told. And I can see it coming where those small percentage, 10%, maybe less, that are not going to fall in line and do that are going to be subjected to certain things like not being able to work, go to work if you have not been tested or have the vaccine, or you're cut off of your benefits for your family that you may need. Um, Maybe you can't go into a supermarket. As a matter of fact, I know someone up in the Northeast that went to the store with his brother, and in order to get into the store, before you entered the store, they checked your temperature. So this is where I'm getting with how this is unfolding, and this type of thing is not 100% across the country. It is apparently haphazard and done in different places, but I believe it's a beta test for certain areas of the country to see how many people are going to be complicit and comply with these orders. My biggest thing is we get jammed down our throats that we live in a country of freedoms. Now, you know what? I'm here to tell you, you take your license plates off the back of your car and try and drive around for however it is, however long it is, before you get pulled over by the police, and it'll give you an idea of just how many freedoms you really have, which a lot of that is an illusion anyways, because you can't drive a car without license plates for very long until a cop car gets behind you. I'm just using that as an example. The shred of freedoms that we actually have as human beings, as a human soul, are very few, and they are going to dissipate quickly in the coming months. As I said in another video, watch out for October 2020. And I had made a forecast way back when about the month of October. So anyways, I came across this video. I'm gonna play it. Shouldn't, if you made it this far in this video, you could always skip ahead to the video that I wanted to show you. It's a little over 2 minutes, but it's an eye-opener. It is what, it's not coming, it's already happening, because this video that I'm getting ready to show you indicates it is already here. It is not the way it is going to be in coming months. It is going to be much, much worse. But this has just recently happened. And should you get through this video long enough to get to the video that I want to show you, you're going to get an idea of what is taking place right now. And so you can only imagine what is going to be in our very near future. So I'm going to transition this over. Bear with me just one moment, because when I transition this over on OBS Studio, I'm going to enlarge the screen when I change scenes. So bear with me. If anything, at least watch that 2-minute video, because it's an eye-opener. So here we go. Let me give this a shot.
They're starting on kids again. Fathers with kids. Yeah, I am back. For his own protection, I'm taking a video. For his own, I don't know the gentleman, but for his own protection, he's got kids there. So I think for his own protection, I need to take a video as a citizen. That's.
Everyone else, please move on.
I'm for his own protection. I'm taking a video, mate.
I'm videoing, so it's fine.
Well, you're not video facing me. You're not video.
Everyone else is videoing as well.
Yeah,
thank you. You've already said you want to move on.
Yeah, I am going to move on.
Now. You going around the corner?
Look at this. Look at this. Με παιδί. Παίρνει το παιδί.
God! Fuck off! dickheads. Oh my God. We've got 80k we're going to keep on.
Look at these kids. Oh, look at these kids.
And they want to keep